Today we're taking a quick look at the new Nisi Athena Primes and talk about my thoughts about these lenses. Now, in case you missed it, recently Nisi released some cinema lenses, and Nisi's already well known for good quality filters, but they did release their own cinema line, and more recently have actually offered these cinema lenses in a variety of mirrorless mounts as well, including L mount, and so that's what we're taking a look at here today. Now, before I get started, I do want to mention that Nisi did send these out to me, but as always, I'm not getting paid and I get to say whatever I want about these lenses, and so with that, let's go into my thoughts on the lenses, starting first talking about the overall image performance. Now, these lenses are going to be classified more as a modern and clinical cinema lens, very similar to something like Sigma Cine lenses. And honestly, that's one reason I was really excited about testing out these lenses, is because I personally own a set of Sigma Cine Primes. And so I was very curious about how good these lenses are, being that they're an ultra budget option and more than half the price of the Sigma Cine Primes. These offer a fast aperture as well, which is something that's a little bit different than some of the other budget cinema lenses at this price point. And on top of that, they are decently sharp wide open, which is also a plus for these lenses. Now, talking about some of the characteristics of these lenses, I did really like the focus roll off. I've been really impressed with how little chromatic aberration and focus breathing these lenses have. They are both virtually non-existent, and they are relatively consistent as a set as far as color rendition and overall performance. I've really enjoyed the overall image performance of these lenses. I've been really happy with how they do perform, especially being budget cinema lenses at this price point. And so let's switch gears and talk about the overall build quality of these lenses. These lenses are just small tank lenses. They are fully metal. They are small, but they're not light. And that can be a good thing for some people or a bad thing for others, depending on maybe you want some gimbal lenses, you want something small and light. These may throw you off a little bit because they are deceptively heavy. With the mirrorless mount options, and I'll list somewhere on the screen all the mirrorless options that are currently available, but with the mirrorless options, you do have the ability to have rear filtration, and we're going to come back to that in just a minute, but they do also offer variants in PL mount, and that would be my personal choice if I'm investing in cinema lenses, but again, they do now offer a variety of mirrorless mounts. Now, if you'd rather have a screw-on filter option, there is a 77mm filter thread, obviously excluding the 14mm, being that is a little more of a bulbous front element. And on top of that, the lenses do have an outer diameter of 80mm if you want to utilize smaller clamp-on matte boxes. The lenses do offer a physical focus and aperture ring. The focus throw is 300 degrees, and so you have a nice long focus throw. The focus ring is nice and smooth, while the aperture ring is well dampened, and so that's a really nice thing to see as far as the attention details with these cinema lenses. Now, I do want to mention that my one big issue with these lenses is when it comes to the physical build of these lenses, the rear filtration, while it's really cool and really handy, does make it impossible to mount these lenses on an S5 IIX and byproduct an S5 Mark II, because the EVF does sit a little bit closer to the mount of the S5 IIX. That rear filtration kind of insert actually hits up against the front of the EVF, so that it makes it impossible to mount on the S5 IIX. Now, you technically can still mount the lens, but you do have to remove the rear filter first, mount the lens, and then put it back in place. So it's not utterly impossible, but it is definitely a pain in the ass. And so I would not buy the L mount version of these lenses if you're a Lumix S5 IIX owner. Now, it should go without saying, but I'll go ahead and say the FP owners don't have that issue. So if you're an FP owner and you want native cinema lenses, I would still recommend the Nisi cinema lenses. And so that's a perfect segue in talking about who these lenses are for and my overall thoughts about these lenses. First off, my overall thoughts. I absolutely love the image that these lenses produce. They offer a good, clean, modern look, and that's what I'm a fan of, and that's why I've invested my personal money in a good, modern, and clean cinema lens. And these lenses give you that same feel and image performance at a much lower price point. And so for that, if you are somebody that's looking for a budget set of cinema lenses, really good quality cinema lenses, then I would absolutely recommend to check out the new new Nisi Athena Primes. And so that's it for me. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did enjoy the video, make sure to give it a like. And if you're digging the overall content from the channel, consider subscribing. If you do have any more questions about these lenses, let me know in the comments below. And as always, thank you for joining. Go and find your journey. Go embrace life. Peace.